This video is on how to adjust on TastyWorks using options on futures. When you are adjusting on options on stock using the TastyWorks platform, you can adjust any way you want. So for example, if you had on something, let's say in Starbucks, and you had a position on that looked like this, say it looks like this, and you wanted to adjust up here and make it look like this. Well, you can do this type of adjustment. You can do any type of adjustment for the most part on options on stock when you're using the TastyWorks platform. When you're using options on futures, you cannot adjust any way you want because the futures exchange is somewhat antiquated, and TastyWorks has to come up with some software to bypass the exchange. The exchange thinks that everything is a custom spread if the spread is not the same between each width of a leg. So let me break that down and make that a little bit more clear. So for example, say you had this spread here, and this is a 40-point wide spread, and you wanted to move this spread up from this 15 delta, let's say, to a 20 delta, and you wanted to keep the spread 40 points wide. So that would be this here. And looking at this, you can see that this width of the spread is 40 points wide, but this is only 20 points wide, and this right here is 40 points wide, as you can see. So if I went to try to adjust this, if I wanted to try to do this, and let me just show you, I'm going to put this up high, but it's going to get rejected anyway. But sending this, and I send this spread, and you can see that it got rejected over here. So that order got rejected because you cannot do a spread without the width being the same. So let me show you what a width being the same looks like. So this right here is a 40-point wide spread. 40-point wide spread, and I'm going to do what is called a small adjustment on TastyWorks platform, and I'm going to keep the widths 20 points wide. So I'm buying back this first one here, and then I'm buying this strike here, and then I'm selling this strike here. So now we have 20 from here, 20 from here, and 20 from here. You can see that all the strikes are the same width apart. Okay, so if I wanted to actually have this trade go through, I can do two contracts because this is two contracts here, and as I say, I went and sent this. So I sent that, and you can see that it's working. So now that worked. All right, I'm going to cancel that order. I don't want to get it filled. And then the second type of adjustment they can do in concert on the TastyWorks platform is what we call the big adjustment in concert. Until they get this software fixed, and I'm hoping they do it soon. It's been a couple of years and they haven't fixed it yet. I know they compete with Thinkorswim, and Thinkorswim allows you to adjust any way you want on options on futures and options on stock. So TastyWorks is behind on options on futures. So I'm hoping soon they will develop some software to bypass the exchange, the future exchange. With that said, let's look at the big adjustment. This is a 40-point wide spread. So what we're going to do is go 40 points between each leg. So in this case, you have to go 40 points up. So that would be here, and we're buying that because that's 40 points up. And then we're going to sell the next one, which will be 40 points up, which will be here. So this spread is actually 40 points wide between each leg. That's 40 points there. And then if we go here, that's 40 points between these two. And then if we go here, it's 40 points between these. So this trade will actually go through. And I don't want it to go through. I can move that all the way up and do 2 contracts, as you see, but I don't want it to go through because I don't want to use this buying power. I don't want to have it go up. This market has been going up quite a bit when I'm doing this example, so I don't want to adjust at this point. But with that said, if I put this in and I try to get a bigger credit than what they're indicating, then it'll just go through and I'll be able to cancel it. So we're going to go like this and we're going to send this, and you can see that it went through and it's working. So we're just going to cancel that working order. And now you understand how you would do the adjustment on TastyWorks. It's going to give one more example. If you were doing something like the euro, it's the same kind of thing. You have to keep the spread the same width. It does not matter on options, on futures using TastyWorks. You have to keep the width of the spread the same. So for example, if you had this as a position and you bought that back and you sold this one, this was a spread that you had on. Now what you can do, if you wanted to move this up, you would have to buy this one and sell that one. That is the small adjustment. All of these are the same width apart. Okay, all of those are the same width apart. Then if we cancel that, if we delete these ones and we do a bigger adjustment, we have to keep the widths of the part. So this is like 1 cent between these two. So what we would do is buy this one. This is the big adjustment, and then this is the ending of that big adjustment. So now you got 1 point between these two, 1 point between these two. All right, so everything is the same. So that's how that would look. All right, so that's how you adjust in concert without having to take off a position and put it back on. So it's 3 ways you can adjust on the TastyWorks platform using options on futures. You can do what we call a small in concert adjustment, or a big in concert adjustment, or you can just take the position off and put it back on. So if you're doing a roll up or a roll away, the full roll away that we call it, you would have to do it in those 3 type of ways: the small adjustment in concert, the big adjustment in concert, or taking it off and putting it back on.